Ask me how many times I've worn this bag. Ask me. One. So I've been looking on social media and I've been seeing like this trend of rappers spending like $500,000 on like these luxury watches and like these jewelry pieces. And I was just going like, y'all are so dumb. Like, why are y'all spending that much money on a watch? Like, what do you need with a watch that's $500,000? Like, you wouldn't even feel safe walking around with that watch on. But then I had to really sit back and be like, girl, you done bought some dumb shit too with your money now. As a matter of fact, like, there's a lot of dumb stuff that I've bought with my money. Maybe $500,000 is nothing to them because that's their tax bracket. So I am going to talk to y'all today about the dumbest stuff that I have bought with my money. I have so much stuff that I could have put on this list, but I literally narrowed it down to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have like 10 things. These are just the things that I look at and I go like I'm disgusted when I look at it. Like, why would you spend your money on this type thing? So let's get into it. So the first thing on my list, I'm going to go ahead and say, when it comes to perfume, it's not that I mind spending the money, but some of my perfumes I really rarely ever wear. And I understand that some perfumes are just like classic perfumes that you should only really wear for special occasions. But the price on some of these perfumes are ridiculous for something that I'm probably only going to wear like twice a year. And really, the only reason why I'm not wearing it that much is because it costs so much money, not because it's just such a perfume that I should only wear once in a while. It's because, like, damn, I don't want this to run out that fast. And I done spent all this money on it, so now I gotta buy another one. But the one that I most regret spending all that money on is Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. So they have different sizes. They have one, I think the cheapest one is like $75, but it's like one of like the smaller ones. And I had already smelled it in person, so I knew that I really liked it and I was gonna run through the smaller one real fast. I was like, well, let me get a big one. They have a 50 milliliter one for $400, and then they have the 100 milliliter one for $500. And guess which one I bought? I bought the $500 one, rationing it to myself, basically saying like, you really only spend $100 more than you really would, and you getting way more perfume out of it. Like, no, there's absolutely no reason that I should have spent $500 on this perfume. But I do this all the time. I have so many perfumes, like luxury perfumes, that I spend hundreds of dollars on, and I rarely ever wear them. If you're in the same boat as me when it comes to spending like unnecessary hundreds and hundreds of dollars on perfume, then I want to talk to you real quick about today's sponsor, and that is Scentbird. Scentbird is a monthly subscription service that sends you fragrances every month, and not no like rinky-dink fragrances. They have luxury brands. I'm going to show you some of the ones that I got. And I'm going to tell you about my favorite one that I actually just discovered that I feel like might be like my new staple perfume. So first of all, I love Scentbird because this is how their stuff comes. It's not small at all, but it is small enough to go through TSA. That's like a big thing for me because I travel a lot and I like to spray perfume while I'm traveling. But you pull it out and then you put it back in and you can slide it back down, and they always send it to you in like different colors. I don't know why, but I love like the orange one. I don't know if anybody's ever tried Burberry London, but this is my first time smelling it, and this smells so good. I've literally worn this every day since I've gotten it, and I get so many compliments on this. The other ones that I got are Gucci Guilty, Bella Essence by Oscar de la Renta, and Vanilla Coconut by Lavanila. They send you these cute little cards basically explaining to you like what your perfume smells like. My favorite one, which is the Burberry London one, smells like jasmine, sandalwood, honeysuckle, peony, and clementine. Gucci Guilty, I feel like every girl knows what Gucci Guilty smells like. It's like a If you wore Love Spell when you were younger from Victoria's Secrets, Gucci Guilty is like a mature love spell that lasts all day. One thing I love about Scentbird is that there's no pressure. Like if you need to pause for a month because you can't afford it that month, or if you just feel like you have enough fragrances for right now, you can pause and they won't charge you any penalties, and then you can pick back up where you left off when you're ready to start receiving fragrances again. Oh, if you live in Canada, it's available now for you too. Going from spending $500 on one fragrance to spending $16 on multiple fragrances, that's a win-win to me. And if you use my code, then you can get your first month for just $11. Thank you, Scentbird, so much for sponsoring this video. And if you decide to try them, please let me know, out of the 600 brands that you can choose from, let me know which fragrances you chose. So the next 3 things that I have on this list are actually shoes that I feel like I just wasted my money on. So the first pair are these. These are some Christian Louboutins. They are some red bottoms that I spent about $1,300 on. And the reason why this is so smooth is because I have never worn them, ever. These are over a year old. They might be 2 years old. I'm not sure. I have never worn these. I bought these shoes for a party. Somebody was having a party and it was kind of like, you know how people have like those grown-up like tea parties? I was going to one of those and I felt like these shoes were perfect for that event. Never wore them. And you know what? I actually think the shoes I ended up wearing were like some shoes from like Ego. Like they were some cheap ass, like little $40 shoes. And realistically, I should have really returned these when I realized that I was not going to be wearing them. But I really was trying to say to myself, like, oh, you're going to wear them one day. So don't return them. Never wore them. And now if I even try to sell them like on Poshmark or anything, I'm going to lose money on them because I spent $1,300 for them, but I probably won't make any more than like $700 on them. Waste of money. The next pair of shoes that were a total waste of money are, y'all know them little YSL shoes that have like the letter on the heel, the open toe ones? Yeah, I wore those shoes one time. Those shoes were $1,000. I wore those shoes one time, and that is the only time. And I think this is so ratchet, but I did it that day. That was the only time I took my shoes off in the club. I was standing on the couch with no shoes on because my feet, do not buy those shoes. Your feet will be on fire. Like the little strap that goes across your toe is so tiny. Oh my God. I honestly feel like those are the most uncomfortable shoes I have ever had on my feet in my life. Do not buy those shoes. Total waste of money. Sold them. Gone. Bye. Out of my closet. I never want to see, like, looking at those shoes pissed me off after I wore them. Like, I was looking at them shoes like, ugh, you disgust me.
You're disgusting.
The last pair of shoes that I feel like were a waste of money are these. They're these Fendi shoes that I bought. I don't think that these cost as much as the other shoes. I think these were like maybe like $700, but I only wore these one time. And the reason why I think that they were a waste of money is because I didn't need them for what I thought I needed them for. I bought these shoes for a photo shoot with Grown Up Hip Hop Atlanta. It was our photo shoot for like the promo for that season. So I bought a dress and shoes, but the dress was like a cheaper dress. So I didn't really care about the dress. But the shoes are really expensive, and they didn't really specify to me that we were going to have a stylist that was bringing in clothes. They just were like, kind of like, oh, this is kind of what we want y'all to wear type shit. But they didn't say, this is what we want y'all to wear, so please convey that to the stylist that we've already paid for to style y'all. So I still ended up wearing them in the photo shoot because I was like, I spent $700 on these shoes, so I'm about to wear them. So I just found an outfit to go with these shoes, but never wore them again after this. And I don't think I would. I don't really like the heel anymore. Like, it's kind of like childish. The big chunky, I don't know, something about this shoe really gives like, this is my first time getting a designer shoe type thing. I don't know. Would I wear these again? No, I feel like they're childish. Yeah, no, I wouldn't wear these again. So, waste of money. Spending a lot of money on shoes is not always bad. These are some Tom Ford crystal shoes that I bought. I don't remember how much these shoes are. I feel like these shoes were around $1,200 too, but I have worn these shoes down. Like I got every dollar of my $1,200 worth it out of these shoes. I've worn them to so many like special events. They're super comfortable. I think that they go like with a lot of stuff. And I'm not ready to give these up yet. So yeah, these Tom Fords were definitely worth every bit of money. Also, like they're very sturdy. Like a lot of shoes, even like high-end shoes, the heel always like rots away, eats. I always have to spend a lot of money on getting like my heel refurbished. But these have been really sturdy. They have not let me down at all. They are very loved. Well, since I brought these shoes up, I might as well talk about one thing on my list that I regret that I actually wore with these shoes, and that is the dress that I wore to my big 30th birthday party last year. I wore that dress one time. I'm never gonna wear that dress again. And it was a 30th birthday party. It's not like, oh, it was my wedding. I spent like a couple $1,000s on that dress. And I was only in the dress, I'll say, for 45 minutes to an hour because I ended up changing into a more comfortable dress. It was a very gorgeous dress and it photographed very well. But looking back on that day, I did not need to spend that much money on that dress. And it's definitely not one of the things that you can return because it was a custom made dress. Like it was made like to my measurements. The only thing that I can think to do with it is to try to sell it around prom time. And I would make nowhere near as much money back on that dress as I spent on it. I probably could make like $800 off of that dress after I spent like almost over a couple grand on it. Like it literally was just really like a waste of money. And now that when I really get into shopping now, I really be thinking about that. I'd be like, damn, this dress is $300 and this dress is bomb. I could have wore that dress on my birthday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I just make really impulsive decisions and that dress was one of them. Like I was like, "Ooh, I want a custom dress. I want to cut." Even with the dress being custom, I could have found someone local over here in the United States to probably make my dress for cheaper. This was one of those like overseas places, you know, like those people over in like Russia and like that be having like these really like nice extravagant dresses. That's where I got my dress from. I actually found one of those places that make these extravagant dresses on Instagram and reached out to them and they made me that dress. And look, the dress was gorgeous and I was gorgeous in the dress, but I would not spend that much money on a dress again at all. And I think somebody else could have made me that dress for not that much money. Because to be honest, the dress is really mesh. It just has beading on it. Like I could have found somebody here to do that. One thing that I usually never feel bad about buying are sunglasses and bags. Those are two things that I'll splurge on and I never feel like I wasted my money because I'll wear a bag down. I'll wear some sunglasses down. Like vacations, like I always get use out of every bag that I've ever bought and every pair of sunglasses I ever bought. But this bag, ask me how many times I've worn this bag. Ask me. One. One. And the reason behind even buying this bag was stupid. I was like, you know how you have like the cute, like quick little bag that you want to like throw all your stuff in if you're going to spend the night somewhere? What we call them? A hoe bag. A hoe bag, because this is a big ass bag. This is like really like a big ass hoe bag. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this. This is gonna be like my little quick, like little hoe bag that I can put like my panties and like little quick like leggings and stuff in. Y'all, I'm not even a hoe. I'm not even a hoe. I live with my girlfriend. Why would I buy this hoe bag? And the bag is like so like open, like it doesn't like zip up or anything. So I'm really not comfortable like really traveling with it either because I feel like you can kind of like reach into the bag if you wanted to. I do have a bag that I don't regret that I spent a cute coin on that I love to travel with. And that is this one, this Burberry bag. I take this with me every time I go out of town. It's my carry-on. And I actually bought this bag pre-owned for $400 off of Farfetch. Farfetch has some really good like pre-owned luxury items. So if you want to go on there, you can get you some cute stuff. Okay, so the next thing that I have on this list is my car. I have a Mercedes, and the reason why I'm saying that my car was kind of a waste of money is because this car always asking for something. First, you want service A, and then when I leave the car dealership paying $300, $400 for service A, now a week later, now you're asking me for service B, which is another $300, $400. And then after I pay $800 getting all of these services done, now you want new tires. A few weeks ago, I had to pay $1,800 for something that was wrong with my steering column that wasn't covered in my warranty. So I'm just like, where does the money end here? I just don't know if when I get a new car, if I would stick to Mercedes. I'm kind of really wanting an American car. Like these American cars look luxury now. I don't know if y'all been seeing these cars. Like, oh my gosh, have y'all seen the new I want a truck. I want a truck now. So have y'all seen the new I think it's like a Ford Bronco or something? I don't know. The Kias are looking like Mercedes now. The Genesis, like what's going on? And another part of me just kind of feel like, do I really want a new car? I feel like, to be honest with you, because there's nothing wrong with my car. I feel like I can have my car for maybe another 5 years. It's just like that whole like, oh my gosh, I've had my car so long. Do I need a new car type thing? And I really don't think I need one. I honestly might just pay to get my car wrapped, like wrapped or painted black, because I've been wanting a black car and get my windows not tightly, and get my windows slightly tinted. I don't want to trade that car in or to just buy a new car and keep that car and just feel like I wasted my money on that car. I actually used to have a Chrysler, and that car lasted me forever, and I did not put nearly as much money into that car as I have to put into Mercedes. Since we're talking about lifestyle stuff, let's talk about my apartment. I don't want to necessarily give like away how much rent it is, but it is more than a couple $1,000s, like way more than a couple $1,000s in rent, because I live in the penthouse in my building. It's not because it's a bad apartment. It's not because I necessarily even regret living here, because I actually like living here. But when I'm looking in this same area at other buildings that are the same amount of luxury as this one, they don't cost as much. And I don't understand why my building costs so much, because even when I go to like other buildings, there's no difference. They still have a concierge, they still have security, they still have so many things that my building has. And to be honest, the lobbies there be nicer. I be feeling like they a little bit more secure than my building, but my building costs so much more. And I be trying to figure out why my building costs so much more. And I can't figure it out. And I've actually even asked the lease somebody that works at the leasing office that question, like, why does this cost so much more than this building? And this building is low key nicer than this one. I can't really get a response back. Like nobody really knows why my specific building costs so much more than the surrounding buildings in my Atlanta community. I mean, I don't plan on moving, but I will complain. Now, if they raise this rent, we moving. Okay, the next thing on this list is my iMac computer. And I want to kind of explain why I feel like this is a waste of money. Because for a lot of people, it wouldn't be a waste of money. The reason why we got this iMac in the first place is when I decided to get more serious with my YouTube channel. So the iMac, we got Final Cut Pro on it. I can see like my editing is bigger. There's more storage on it. It just was everything that I thought I needed at the time in order to successfully edit my videos the way that I wanted to. But now that we have it, I've had it for over a year now, I literally miss editing on my laptop. And the reason why I miss editing on my laptop is because I can take my laptop anywhere. I can take my laptop to the couch. If I want to edit on the couch, I can edit in the bed while Amy is sleeping. I'm literally confined to sitting in front of the computer when I want to do anything with my channel, even check my analytics, If I just want to put the final touches on a video, I'm confined to sitting in front of a computer at a computer desk, and I do not like that. And before anybody says, well, do you still have your laptop? I do, but my laptop is old. That's the reason why we bought the iMac, because I was like, okay, I need a new laptop. And then we talked about it, and we was like, okay, well, a computer will be better for you. Everything that you want, it seems like it's in like a desktop. When honestly, I could have just upgraded my computer, got a new laptop, and I could have just bought an external hard drive in order to store all the things that I needed to be stored. So I do think I'm gonna go and buy a laptop solely for this purpose. But then once I get my new laptop, I feel like then the computer is really gonna be sitting idle in the office space that we have in this apartment. Like I'm not gonna use that computer once I have a laptop, and that computer was like $1,800. I had great intentions with that computer, but it definitely did not work out the way that I wanted it to. Y'all, I spent $400 on a face cream that made my face itch. Literally, I do not know what's in the La Mer cream, but I spent $400 on that cream because everybody was saying that it's magic in a jar. And I put it on my face, and my face turned red and it started itching. And then on top of that, I just feel like stupid because, first of all, I'm young. So I'm not at a point in my life where I need to be spending that much money on skincare. And two, after like really getting into the ingredients and watching videos and listening to dermatologists talk about it, I really don't think that there is anything in the La Mer in that specific cream that I bought that is worth the $400 that I spent. So now I'm left with a $400 cream that I used one time that I am never going to use again. Okay, so the last thing that I have on this list is the doghouse that I bought for, if you watch my channel, you know about my puppy Blossom. I bought her a doghouse that was like $400. And it's not that the doghouse is a bad doghouse. It's a great doghouse. It's a quality doghouse. It's a gorgeous doghouse. I did not think about the fact that dogs grow. So I bought her a $400 doghouse that she can barely fit into now. The funniest thing is she refuses to accept the fact that she cannot fit in that doghouse anymore. So like she'll crouch to get in there, she'll turn around and then she'll just lay in it. But I should have gotten a cheaper doghouse for like when she was in her puppy phase, and then bought like the permanent, nice, expensive doghouse in her size when she fully grew. In my defense, she was not supposed to get this big. Blossom was supposed to stay between 3 and 7 pounds. My dog is 17 pounds, and she's way taller than she's supposed to be. And she's bigger than both her parents, and she's bigger than all her siblings. So I don't know what happened with my dog, but I mean, it's a gamble when you buy a mixed breed. Is that it? Okay, that's it for this list. I really hope that y'all like this video. I have so much more shit that I could have put on this list, but I don't want to be here talking to y'all for 2 hours. So if y'all like this video, let me know in the comments. I will make a part 2. What is the dumbest thing that you have spent your money on? I really want to know. I want y'all to tell me in the comments so that I don't feel as dumb. I feel like we all, even if it's something that you spent $80 on and you was like, that was literally the dumbest thing that I ever done in my life, I really want y'all to tell me so that I don't feel as stupid. Thank y'all for tuning into this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! Yeah.